They say a lighthouse never sleeps. Its beam cuts through the dark, steady as time itself. But off the coast of Scotland, on a lonely rock called Eilean Mòr, one lighthouse went dark, and the men who kept it were never seen again. It was December 1900. The island of Eilean Mòr, one of the remote Flannan Isles, sat like a jagged tooth in the North Atlantic. No trees, no shelter, just rock, sea, and wind. 3 men lived there: Thomas Marshall, James Duckett, and Donald MacArthur, the lighthouse keepers of the newly built Flannan Isles Light. For 6 months at a time, they tended the flame, cut off from the world except for supply runs every few weeks. They called it the loneliest post in Britain, but the sea had other names for it. On December 26, a supply ship named Hesperus made its approach through heavy fog. Captain Harvey noticed something wrong immediately. The lighthouse, dark, no smoke from the chimney, no flag raised, no welcoming signal. When the crew landed, they found the front gate open. The door unlocked. Inside, the clock had stopped. One chair lay overturned. Dinner plates sat on the table, untouched, and every bed was empty. The man searched the tower. The lamp was clean, refilled, ready to burn. Everything was in order, except for 2 missing oilskins, meaning 2 men had gone outside. The third's coat still hung on its hook. Down by the west landing they found damage. Ropes snapped clean off, a supply crate split open. The rocks below were slick with seawater. It looked like a storm had hit, but no storm had been recorded. The official report called it a tragedy. It said that during a violent gale, 2 keepers went out to secure the equipment, and a rogue wave swept all 3 into the sea. But there was one problem. No one saw such a storm, and no bodies were ever found. The logbook added even more confusion. On December 12th, one entry read, "Severe winds, the likes of which I have never seen. The sea is a fury. Prayers for calm." The next day's entry, "Storm continues. James quiet. Donald weeps. The sea surrounds us." And the final entry, December 15th, "Storm ended. Sea calm. God is over all." That was the last line ever written at Eilean Mòr. Sailors who passed the island in later years claimed they could still see the light flicker on stormy nights, though the mechanism had long been dismantled. Fishermen swore they heard shouting from the cliffs, 3 voices carried on the wind, calling each other's names. And once, a passing ship reported seeing a man in a keeper's coat standing on the rocks, lantern in hand, staring toward the sea. When they blinked, he was gone. Some say it was madness, isolation driving one man to murder. Others claim the sea itself took them, a punishment for intruding on sacred waters. The locals always whispered that the Flannan Isles were cursed, home to the Little Men, ancient spirits who guarded the rocks long before the lighthouse was built. The Gaelic fishermen refused to go near it. They said if you stared too long at Eilean Mòr, you could see figures walking along the cliff in the rain. Weeks later, replacements were sent to man the lighthouse again. They said that at night, when the lantern turned, you could hear faint tapping from inside the walls, as if someone was knocking to be let back in. No one knows what really happened to the keepers of Eilean Mòr. The sea took the evidence, the wind took their voices, and the light that was meant to guide ships became a warning instead. So if you ever pass the Flannan Isles on a foggy night and see a beam flicker from a tower long abandoned, don't look for the man inside. They are still keeping watch. What do you think happened to the keepers of Eilean Mòr? Storm, madness, or something older than either?